I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one chief rocker in Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the premier Knicks in the Morning Time show, the Knicks Morning Drive. Salute. Salute, salute. Good mornings. Just checking out some things here. My guy, Coach, is on the way. We're going to hang out this morning. Talk the way that y'all like to have that talk to y'all. And salute to everyone watching us on X. Salute to everyone watching us on YouTube. Salute to Andios. Andios is in the building, says Lawrence to his family. Salute. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Let's go Knicks and enjoy the experience. Yo, Raphael is in the building. Salute. The busiest man in the world. Raphael, what's good, man? Raphael is in the building. Tori B in the building. Salute. Just working on some formats and stuff. Man, I don't know what it is. My energy is not there, but I tell you what will get my energy there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, Knicks fans. Check it out. Yo, wake up, Knicks fans. It's time to rise. Lawrence and tears, yes, the morning drive. Welcome to the show, always honest and true. Talking about the team, yeah, you know how we do. It's a new day, grab your coffee, let's flow. Cat in the building, Bronson ready to go. OG and McHale, this wing stop us for real. Lawrence tears, got the passion, gonna feel. Freezy and the crew, we keeping it fresh. Breaking down the team, yeah, we know who's next. Do some Preston Rising, Josh hard as the glue. Got the fire every morning, bleeding orange and blue. Lawrence tears, it's a brand new year. Repping for the Knicks, no doubt, no fear. We got the squad, we making moves. Tuning every morning, yeah, we setting the groove. Lawrence tears, it's the Knicks we love. From MS Street straight to the sky above. Orange and blue, this gonna be our year. This is the vibe, it's Lawrence tears. We're breaking down the trades, analyzing stats. Dunking on the haters, bringing the Knicks back. Clyde with the suit, he's keeping it slick. Lawrence tears every morning, get you your Knicks fix. We go hard every day, another one in the books. Getting excited about our 3 new rooks. From the draft to the playoffs, it's some time to shine. With Cola, Capardi, and Dottier, the future's divine. Freezy and the fam, we calling the plays. Dropping knowledge on the Knicks, we hit them with maze. You know what it is, subscribe and hit that like. Lawrence tears, every morning we taking flight. Lawrence tears, it's a brand new year. Repping for the Knicks, no doubt, no fear. We got the squad, we making moves. Tuning every morning, yeah, we setting the groove. From MS Street straight to the sky above. Orange and blue, you know it's our year. This is the vibe, it's Orange Tears. Yeah. Big Paisan in the house. Come on. AKA Knicks Morning Coach Malpika. Uncle Freezy. Peace.
Yeah, man, it always get me going in the mornings, man. It always get me in the mornings. That's Coach. Coach created the Lawrence Tears morning joint. It's fire. It's fire. Salute everybody. The Knicks play again on. I think the Knicks play again tomorrow. But what we can do is talk about these Knicks and maybe take a slight deep dive. Hold on, let me see. The Knicks beat Orlando yesterday. We talked about that yesterday. Oh, let me see. Yo, DSJ says, I think I realized what we actually need to compete for a championship without question. Crazy thing is, we already had him on a roster. Oh. Are you talking about Quentin Grimes? Bear with me, y'all. I got messages coming in. I didn't check any messages. I'm checking messages now, man. Things is crazy. Let me go here back to stats. Hey, I'm looking for a stat person if y'all know somebody. I'm looking for a stat person, y'all. Somebody that can help the show with real data, like real stats and data, not like fake agenda stuff, but real data. Oh! Let me show y'all something. This surprised me. I was looking for a couple of specific things, but this right here surprised me, y'all. Bear with me, y'all, but I'm going to share something with y'all. It's going to make y'all laugh. I think it's going to make y'all laugh. I think it's going to make y'all laugh when y'all see it. Look at that. I just opened this up because I was going to look at something. Look at this. Look at this, everyone. Offensive leaders. 1 Denver Nuggets, 2 OKC Thunder, 3 Miami Heat, 4 Houston Rockets, 5 New York Knicks. All right. And then defensive leaders, 1 OKC Thunder, 2 Houston Rockets, 3 Boston Celtics, 4 Golden State Warriors, 5 New York Knicks. Looky here. Looky here. The Knicks are in the top 5 and defense and offense. Look at that. Look at that. The Knicks are in the top 5 in offense and defense, according to ESPN. There it is right there in front of you. That is amazing to see, right? That wasn't the main conversation I was going to have this morning. The conversation I wanted to have with you guys was, the Knicks are 4th in rebounding. What's going on? The Knicks are 4th in point differential. The Knicks are 4th. The Knicks are 4th in point differential. Wow. Wow. Wow, this is crazy. Soulfinger is in the building. Dark Gable, salute. HRM is in the building, salute. I think what this means is that the Knicks are a lot better than what we think. I think what that means is things take time. Things take time. No one thing is, oh my. Oh, I just discovered something else, everybody, just by doing not even research. I'm not even doing research. I'm just casually looking at stuff. The Knicks have the best point differential in the Eastern Conference. Any game you go into so far, any game that you've seen so far, the Knicks are plus 8.3 in all those games, and they've won 3 in a row, and the Knicks are 8-2 in the last 10 games. Outside of the Oklahoma City Thunder, basically, the Knicks are the hottest team in basketball. Outside of the OKC Thunder, who's won, according to ESPN, they've won 15 in a row. That's crazy. That's crazy. The Knicks are 16-7. They're 13-1 at home. They're 12-7 in the conference. So if they're 12-7 in conference, that means they're 4-0 out of conference. That means the Knicks are undefeated out of conference. And a couple of the losses that the Knicks have, come to find out, those losses were to really good teams. The Knicks lost to the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics are 15-9 without Jason Tatum. The Knicks lost a couple of times to the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic are 14-10. The Knicks lost to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are 14-10. The only losses on the season that kind of feel bad now that we look back on them, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Chicago Bulls. So the Knicks have lost 7 times. I'm just going to look through and try to find a bad loss. Yo, Rodney Atkins is in the building. Salute. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Salute. Yeah, that 3-game stretch of Miami, Milwaukee, Chicago, that was bad. That was bad. The Knicks lost to Miami twice, Orlando twice, and Boston. Dripmore is in the building. Salute, salute. The Knicks have won 7 out of their last 8, with the only loss coming to Boston. They're 14-4 in their last 18 games. The upcoming schedule, while it should be a test, it may be a separator. Yeah, what was I doing? What was I doing? Hey, man. All right. So this week, the Knicks play Toronto at Toronto, Indiana at Indiana, Philly in the Garden, and Miami in the Garden. Kerry Cox says, asks, do we really need Giannis? That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Do the Knicks really need Giannis? I'm going to say, who? Do the Knicks really need Giannis? That question ain't even fair. That's not even a fair question, man. Do they need Giannis? That question is not even fair. I'm going to say, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, the Knicks really need Giannis. But I'm also going to say that they can live without Giannis. They can win championships without Giannis. Hold on, let me do something really. I had to say hello to the missus. Hello, missus. You know, say hello to everybody. Oh, you ready to come on camera? Hey, everybody, listen. Miss Mocha about it. You said what? Okay. You about to get on camera? Come on. Oh, ew. Okay. All right. Right. I just need a few minutes. Hold on. All right. Hey, Miss Mocha. The Lawrence Cheers family said hello back. She said, hello, everybody. Whatever that means. Yo. Yo, yeah. Actors, yeah, man. Need is a strong word. It's the reason why I'm trying to figure out. Need is a strong word. Right? Hey, listen. I'll tell you why I think the Knicks need Giannis. Right? The Knicks need Giannis because the Knicks need what a Giannis type player brings. Right? The Knicks need what a Giannis type player brings. So what a Giannis type player brings is MVP caliber credibility in those moments where you need MVP caliber credibility. So do the Knicks need Giannis? Yes. Or do they need Giannis's resume? You could win a championship without an MVP, right? Boston did it. The year they beat Dallas in the finals, right? But for the most part, any legitimate championship contender has to, and I mean in quotations, in bold, exclamation point, underlined, in red, you have to have an MVP level guy to win a championship in this league. Right? Boston, right? Boston won a championship, but that was when Jason Tatum was playing at a historic Jason Tatum type level, right? Jason Tatum was playing probably the best basketball of his career when the Celtics won a championship. Right. So there is this thing. Is Jalen Brunson good enough? Yes. But in order for the Knicks to win an NBA title with this group, someone on this roster has to play at a undoubted MVP level. Period. This is not up for debate, right? This is not something I made up. It's not something that I want to argue with people about. This is something that I find is a fact. When the Bulls were winning championships in the 90s, they had an MVP level type player. When Shaq and Kobe were winning championships under Phil Jackson, they had an MVP type player, maybe two. When the San Antonio Spurs and Miami Heat were winning championships, they had an MVP type player. When Golden State was winning championships, they had an MVP type player. When the Toronto Raptors won their singular championship, they had an MVP level player. When the Denver Nuggets won their championship, they had an MVP level player. Right? And so with that, who won the championship last year? Oklahoma City? Just saying. Who won the championship the year before that? Boston had Luka. I mean, Dallas had Luka when they went to the finals, right? One championship before that. Basically, what I'm saying is even if you don't go get Giannis, you still need an MVP, an undoubtable MVP level player. Right? You have to have it. You have to have it. This is not something that you can debate. This is something that you have to have. You have to have it. Right? So even if you don't get Giannis, you have to have the MVP level. Because the thing is, if you don't go get Giannis, can Jalen Brunson be an MVP level guy? I'm asking y'all, chat. I'm asking you. Do y'all think Jalen Brunson can be a top 2 MVP candidate? And listen, there's nothing wrong with saying everyone has a ceiling, because honestly, everyone has a ceiling. Honestly, everyone has a ceiling. So when y'all ask if the Knicks need Giannis, the Knicks need Giannis because Giannis has proven that he is a MVP level guy. He's won the MVP before. He's finished in the top 3 in MVP multiple times. At Jalen Brunson's age, though, does he give you the vibe that he can be an MVP type player? Here's the thing with me and Jalen Brunson in the MVP conversation. The conditions for Jalen Brunson to win MVP have to be ideal. The Knicks have to have an outstanding record, win 60 games. The Knicks have to stay healthy. Mike Brown has to innovate relentlessly, too. Mike Brown has to innovate relentlessly. The thing about Jalen Brunson type players, the unfortunate thing is MVPs aren't physically built like Jalen Brunson. Generally, MVPs are guys that are physical freaks. Right? And in the MVP conversation, almost is not good enough. Almost is not good enough. So if you ask me, Nick Yak is in the building. Salute. I got Nick Yak. What's good? The thing about, and listen, and this is not me knocking Jalen Brunson, because y'all know I love Jalen Brunson. Like, let's stop it. Let's not. This is not me bashing Brunson. This is me keeping in the stack based on the question that I was asked. I love Jalen Brunson. I love Josh Hart, even though he aggravates me a lot. Right. Can Jalen Brunson be the MVP? Conditions have to be ideal. Right? Conditions have to be ideal. MVPs spend about 90% of the season looking dominant. Can JB look dominant to referees, organizations, and fans? That put us in the spotlight. If you need to have conditions be ideal for a guy to be MVP, then as good as he is, he may not have the MVP he might not be the MVP. Right. We just, yeah. Kerry Cox says, who has MVP potential on the Knicks? It's Jalen. That's it. It's Jalen. That is it. While Karl Anthony Towns is one of the most talented centers to ever play NBA basketball, he doesn't have that selfishness that it takes to be the MVP. Because to be the MVP, you have to have a high level of selfishness, but you also have to execute as well. Right? It's Jalen Brunson and no one else. No one else on this roster has MVP potential. Right? But Jalen Brunson has built-in disadvantages. Because Jalen Brunson's not small. He's short. Jalen Brunson is short in a Tim Hardaway type of way. Yeah, I remember the point guard, Golden State point guard Tim Hardaway. He was not small. He was short. Like Tim Hardaway looked like he had a boxer's build, right, to him. Jalen Brunson has like a boxer's build to him. Like he's not small at all. He's short. And that can be a disadvantage sometimes. Because if you're short, then you need to be super explosive or long. And he's not those either. He's crafty in a Tim Duncan, Kevin McHale type of way. Like Jalen Brunson is the Jalen Brunson is the Tim Duncan of offensive point guards. Vert, what's good, man? So Jalen Brunson is short and not extremely explosive. And I say these things, I say when I say these things, if you're just coming in, we're having the is Jalen Brunson good enough to be MVP conversation. Right? As a matter of fact, let me put this on the screen. Is Jalen Brunson let me rephrase that. Does Jalen Brunson have what it takes to win NBA MVP? I'm gonna put this up here because if you just join the chat, it might sound like I'm bashing Jalen Brunson, but I'm not. I'm not bashing Jalen Brunson. I'm mainly speaking to what it takes to win NBA MVP. Tori B says, I'm gonna tell people you. Yeah, that's not. The thing is because the thing is, I'm rooting for JB, but I know if I'm being honest, if I'm not, because the thing is, when it comes to like, I'm not gonna live in fantasy land about what it takes to win a championship. Winning championships it's hard. Winning championships, like winning a championship is hard, is difficult, right? It's not one of those things where you can be off your game and fall over backwards. You can't accidentally win an NBA championship. You can't get lucky, fall over backwards into a championship. Like, it's not like the lottery at your gas station where you could just get lucky and win like a couple of grand or something. Winning an NBA title is hard, very, very difficult. And certain conditions have to be right for you to win an NBA title. And one of those conditions is someone on your roster has to be playing at an MVP level, right? Like in the MVP conversation, right? You got to have a Giannis, an SGA, a Jokic, a Tatum, a Luka, Anthony Edwards, a who else? Someone in that, a Wemby almost. You got to have someone in that realm, right? Because if not, you're not going to get there. It's too difficult. You have to have a Kevin Durant, James Harden, and I'm talking about in their prime years. You have to have a James Harden, Kevin Durant type of guy in order to win a championship, because there are a bunch of talented teams every year. If I give an example, there was a team that got the number 1 pick one year, and then the next year they drafted a shooting guard with the number 2 or with the number 3 pick, right? With the number 3 pick, they drafted a shooting guard, right? Then they drafted a very young, 2 young wing players, right? Then they brought in some veterans. Just Knicks is in the building, salute. Then they traded for a big, and they made a run. They made a run in the playoffs for 4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years they made a run, right? They kept going up against the Celtics and other teams and losing because they didn't have, with all that talent, they didn't have an MVP caliber guy. Can y'all remember what that team was? I'll give you a hint. They played in the Eastern Conference. They wore red, white, and blue, their standard colors, and their alternate colors were black and some shimmery gold color. Y'all remember that team that had the number 1 pick? They drafted a point guard number 1. A couple of years later, they drafted a shooting guard out of Florida. They drafted 2 young wing players, one out of Georgetown, and another one was nicknamed Tsunami Poppy, right? The other one name was Tsunami Poppy. They had a twin off the bench that played at Kansas, right? He had a twin brother. Both of them were crazy, right? They had a Euro big. And with all that talent, they didn't have an MVP caliber guy. With all that talent, they didn't have an MVP caliber guy, and they wound up being a second-round exit team every year, despite the organization building that team the right way. Cowboy Bob is in the building. Salute. That team, and I'm going to say the name. Y'all are going to laugh, but that team was the Washington Wizards. They drafted John Wall, number 1 overall, and he deserved it, right? They drafted Bradley Beal when the Charlotte Bobcats selected, what's the other dude's name? What's the dude's name out of Kentucky, y'all? The dude with the funky shot. Michael Kidd Gilchrist. They drafted Michael Kidd Gilchrist, and the Wizards drafted Bradley Beal. And then the Wizards brought on Otto Porter Jr. And then the Wizards brought on Kelly Oubre. And then the Wizards brought in guys like Marcus Morris, Marcin Gortat. They had a very, very, very loaded team. The team was loaded. The team was stacked with talent. But they didn't have that one guy, right? They didn't have that one guy that could put the team over the top. Right? They didn't have the guy to put that one guy to put the team over. They didn't have an MVP caliber guy. I'm going to give another example. The Sacramento Kings of the early 2000s that had Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, Vladi, Brad Miller, Gerald Wallace. The team had an unbelievable amount of talent. They just didn't have an MVP caliber guy. They just didn't. And it's not, and I'm not knocking those teams because those teams were great. Those Washington Wizards teams were great. Those Sacramento Kings teams were great. They just couldn't get over the hump because they didn't have an MVP caliber guy. And so what I'm saying about this Knicks team is this. Do the Knicks need Giannis? Yes. The Knicks do need a Giannis, either Giannis himself or someone that can put together a Giannis type resume. Because as ridiculous as it sounds, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna sound ridiculous, right? With this current team, would the Knicks win a championship with the last MVP? Who won it? Oh, SGA. With this current team, would the Knicks win multiple championships with SGA on it? With the current roster, and then you add the current MVP, would this team win a championship? Right? With this current team, would Jokic make them championship contenders? With the current roster, and if you just add Jokic to it, would this team be a championship contender? Who else won an MVP? With this current team, would the Knicks win a championship with Joel Embiid in his prime? Everything the same, Joel Embiid in his prime, would this team win a championship? With this current team, would Giannis make this team a finals darling? Can the Knicks win a championship with this current team with Giannis on it? And listen, I know the Knicks are not going to trade for with this current team. I know you can't acquire Giannis with this current team. You'll have to move pieces for this current team. But I asked that question because I'm asking you, if someone on this team right now, without changing the roster, if someone on this team elevated themselves into MVP status, would this team win a championship? Say, for instance, if Brunson elevated himself into MVP status, would this team be able to win a championship? If Jalen Brunson elevated himself to MVP status right now with this current roster, would the Knicks win a championship? Not only am I gonna say yes, I'm gonna say if Jalen Brunson elevated himself into MVP status for, say he wins the MVP or if Jalen Brunson elevated himself into MVP status, and everything in the roster stayed the same, I think the Knicks are the champs the next 3 or 4 years. If. And mind you, to be the MVP, winning the MVP is not just about shooting the basketball 50 times. Right? To be the league MVP, you can't just be a scoring machine. It's rare that scoring machines win the MVP. There's got to be, and nowadays there's got to be another part of your game, right? Like say Giannis, like with Giannis can score. Giannis is one of the greatest scorers of all time in this league, right? But Giannis does other stuff, right? Great leader, great rebounder, defender. Jokic is a triple-double machine. Luka, who hadn't won the MVP, is MVP caliber. Does it all offensively. And so while I'm not diminishing Brunson, because Jalen Brunson, I think this is his 4th season as a Knick. I think it's his 4th season as a Knick, right? Jalen Brunson it's been 4 years. So Jalen Brunson in his 4th year as a Knick is quickly becoming one of the greatest Knicks to have ever put on the orange and blue. Period. In my mind, Jalen Brunson is already a better Knick than Bernard King. Already. No slight on Bernard King. I'm talking about the best of the best. I'm not just talking about random guys. I'm talking about the best of the best. Right? Just talk about the best, the best of the best. Right? One could argue that Jalen Brunson at the end of this year may be a better Knick than Carmelo Anthony at the end of this season, depending on how this season plays out. Y'all know I love Melo. Y'all know I love Melo. I don't like putting Melo names in no conversation, right? Melo is untouchable. Melo, Clyde Frazier, Pat Ewing, John Starks, Allen Houston, in my mind, are in untouchable topics. Right? But Jalen Brunson right now is probably the 13th or 14th greatest Knick to ever have played. And the Knicks have played basketball for about 80 years. Jalen Brunson right now is showing that he's a better Knick than Richie Guerin. Right? He's a better Knick than Latrell Sprewell. Like Jalen Brunson is a better Knick than Larry Johnson. Right? Jalen Brunson is probably a better Knick than Bernard King. Right? With that, I'm not knocking the guy. I'm not knocking Jalen Brunson. I think he's a great Knick. In my opinion, and y'all's too, and this is y'all's opinion too. Trust me, I listen to y'all. I understand where y'all are coming from. Some of the stuff that I say out loud, though, is some of the stuff that I know y'all feel. Right? Like Like, I know y'all feel like the Knicks need a top 2 or 3 player in the league, right? And the thing is, Jalen Brunson may not be that, but Jalen Brunson is a great. I mean, Jalen Brunson's a top 5 or 6 NBA player right now in the league. I don't know if he's top 5, top 11, top 3 to you, whoever, wherever you feel like he's at, that's where he's at. I ain't gonna argue with it, right? In my mind, Jalen Brunson is the second best point guard to ever put on a Knicks uniform. He'll never, ever be the best point guard to ever put on a Knicks uniform, in my mind. Ever. But there's nothing wrong with being number 2. Yeah. Salute. Hey, I see you. Oh, it's never sniffed the finals. Right. Yeah. Except last summer, they lost in game 6 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. I was with yeah, nah. I understand the sentiment. I understand the sentiment of that comment. I understand the sentiment. I just don't. There are some facts that we just can't omit. The Knicks lost in game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So for the question, do the Knicks need Giannis? The Knicks need, I guess, to wrap up that point, the Knicks need Giannis in a way different than what we than what y'all anticipate. I was gonna say the Knicks need Giannis in a way that they only need an MVP, and Giannis is an MVP, former MVP winner, and still in his prime. So when you ask the question, do the Knicks need Giannis? Yes, only because you need to have an MVP in order to win at the highest level. That's it. Right. Right. There it is. Right there. Right there. Yep. Yep. To take down the current MVP, basically what I get from this, and basically what I've been saying is to take down the current MVP, you need another MVP. Basically. And my guy Nick Yak says Bernard would get us a chip with Brunson, with the Brunson team, took us to game 7 against Bird's team without help. Yep, I remember that. Man. I was in high school. Was I in high school? Yeah. Man, I might have been about, what year was that? Was that 80? What year was that? Was that 83? Was that 83? That might have been 83. I know what you're talking about, Nick Yak. You know I And Dripmo says Giannis couldn't get past the Pacers either, so we good. Work with what we got, and if we don't get a chip, then Giannis in the offseason. Hey, yeah. Yeah. No, I was, yeah. you got to have either a MVP guy or a guy that's playing in that top 2, top 3 player in the league thing. The thing is every time I hear, so I reach out to others, right? East Blue Druid in the building. So I reach out to others, like, just to see what the word is around the NBA. So I do that, right? I do that. I reach around. I reach out to my guys around the league, podcasters and such, to get their sense of what you need to win a championship. And everybody I talk to always say, man, the Knicks are missing. The Knicks need one more thing, but I just don't know what it is. That's the sense I get from everybody. That's the sense I get from non-Knicks fans that look at the Knicks roster and ask me, and I ask them, what do the Knicks need to win a championship? And they always say the Knicks are, or most of the things I've been hearing is the Knicks are one piece away. And then when I ask what that piece is, no one actually knows. Right. And so what I get from that is the Knicks may have that guy on the roster and we just don't know it. Right. All right, y'all. I was waiting around for Coach. I just wanted to come through and hang out, man. So we're gonna do this every day this week, man. Unless something comes up, like something emergency come up, but Knicks Morning Drive, I started it at 9. I really want to do it at 8. Right? But I got to get my body back used to the schedule. So 8 o'clock-ish for Knicks Morning Drive, 11 p.m.-ish for the Knicks at Night podcast. Wednesday, Knicks Freestyle. And during the course of the week, I'm just going to pop up and do some Uncle Freezy Has a Thought type stuff. Maybe rock for like 15 minutes, whatever's on my mind. So still Knicks fans is in the building. Salute. Thank y'all for coming through and rocking. Man, I hope y'all beverages hit the spot. Hope the work week is off on the right foot. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Peace, everyone.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things.